Okay, so a few general announcements about signing up to take the AP Calculus AB exam. So you need to sign up by the end of February. Um, on the day of the AP exam, you'll be doing either uh, a course final through the College Board by taking an AP exam, or you'll be with me for the morning doing a course final for our course. So you have to choose one of those two things to engage in from about 8 to noon on Tuesday, May 5th. And so looking at this, just doing the plot rule here, we see that we've got an x in the denominator here. So we know that this must be a minus sign x using the plot rule for that. So you could go through that longhand and figure out if that's in fact the case. A little bit of good news here is the Fundamental Theorem of Calculus Part 2 is really what we've been doing all along. We've been looking at this as the derivative. We've been then identifying an antiderivative for a few select functions that we know, and then evaluating that antiderivative at the upper bound and the lower bound. So the functions that we know how to do that with is what we really need to prepare ourselves for. So we can do constant functions. We can do linear functions, and we can do semicircles. And all of these would fall under the geometry category. We would just change that into a geometry problem. We can also do polynomial functions. That's where we're going to have to reverse the derivative rules kind of on the fly there. I could also probably throw you a sine or a cosine. I think those are you're getting comfortable with feeling out the antiderivative there, and probably an e to the x. I bet I could throw you that too, and you could figure out what the antiderivative is there. So these we'd have to use derivative rules or power rules to evaluate the antiderivative there. So those would be the things that I think you probably could handle here in Chapter 5. We've got some things that we need to discuss about Chapter 6 with more complicated functions, but this is definitely what you could handle for Chapter 5. So really we're just going to continue kind of perfecting this this skill of finding the antiderivative and evaluating the antiderivative. So on day 2's homework gives you an opportunity to do that.